So, I'm at a rest area here in Texas, and I was getting ready to do some astrophotography stuff. And so I'm getting ready to set up my telescope. Thought I'd do a video about the process. And inevitably, some jackhole decides to pull up with his fucking high beams on, right behind me. Never fails. I don't get it, man. I'm going to go up there and ask him if he could turn his lights off, but you never know. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's clear up above, and it's supposed to clear up in the next hour or so. But anyhow, I was going to set the GoPro up and do like a night time lapse of everything, and hopefully we can get this going. But I'm going to go ask this guy if he can turn his frickin' high beams off. Okay, so the first thing I do, and this is specific to iPhone, I'm sure there are Android apps that do the same thing, but my phone has a compass built into it. And I can go in the settings, and I can set it to true north. So on my mount, you want this peg pointed towards north as close as possible. So I set my phone up on it, and I got it relatively close. And so now, and this is going to be hard with just one hand, but I move the mount so that it's pointed as roughly to north as I can get it. So there we go, okay? And that's about as good as I can get it. And then the other app you got is on the iPhone, you got the Measure app. So you go in there and you look, it has a level option. So I put the level on here, and I can see I'm 1 degree off. So I'll have to adjust the legs to get it so I'm even. I'm going to stop recording for now, and then I will go ahead and do that. So hold on. Okay, so I had to lower the left leg a little bit, but now you see it's level. I'm at 0. So now I got to go ahead and put the mountain head on and everything. And can't really record that with you know, both hands full, so I'll show you essentially the finished product. Okay, so I got it set up. There's my wonderful telescope. And then this and this are some dew shields I 3D printed. They help for blocking out light. And then this is my power distributor. It's actually for ham radio. It's meant as a solar charge controller, but it gets the job done. That's my battery. That thing will last all night. I gotta go ahead and close up my case so bugs don't get in it. But yeah, so now the next step will be to polar align it and get everything set up. So there's my truck. I have a Wi-Fi in it that I use. So I go ahead and I start up the ASI Air app, enter device, make sure everything's showing up, everything is. Go ahead and hit enter. And I set the phone there. And I'm going to want to take a test picture to make sure I'm in focus. So I usually do like a 5-second one. Go ahead and take it. And I see stars, so we're golden. So the next step is I got to do the polar alignment process. So I go to where it says preview here, click that, and hit PA, okay? And this screen starts up. So it says set the mount RA axis northward, connect the main camera, so on and so forth. Then hit the start button. Hit the start button. We'll go ahead and take the first image. And then when it plate solves it, it's going to rotate to the left. It says check 216 stars. There it goes. It's rotating to the left. It's going to take another picture. And when it does that, it's going to solve it. 174 stars, and now it's going to rotate one more time. Saying it's rotated 30 degrees, settling. It's going to take another picture. So it takes 3 overall. It says it's calculated. So you click let's go. Okay, it says I'm too high, 21 degrees, and I'm too far to the left, or 21 arc minutes, and I'm too far left, or whatever that is. You see it. So I need to adjust it up. So on this mount, I need to adjust it down. So on this mount, I got to loosen this bolt, loosen that, and then I go ahead and I rotate this to the left. And it's going to lower it. So I didn't have to do a lot. I do that, I click refresh. It's going to take another picture. It's going to solve it and tell me how far I'm off. And I went a little too far, so now I'm too low, so I need to raise it more. But I will go ahead and do this, and then I will continue. Okay, so I got that down to 2 arc minutes or whatever, and that's about the best I can get it. When I get it there, and then I go ahead and I tighten the bolt on the front to where it gets tight. Okay, and so now I'm too far to the left. So the arrows are always from the perspective of you looking at the back of the telescope. Okay? So for this one, I gotta loosen the bolt on the left and tighten the bolt on the right. And I will go ahead and do that. Okay, and when I got it, it'll pop up and say finish, which it does say. My total deviation is about 4 arc minutes. I'm going to fine tune it a little bit because I'm neurotic. But at this point, you're pretty much good to go, and it'll do all right. But I'm going to see if I can get it a little bit better, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it. Pretty dang close. So now I click the finish button. And that took me 7 minutes and 4 seconds. And I was filming, so that added a little bit of time. But after that's done, I can go ahead and go to preview. And I'll go to the mount. And I will send the mount to the home position. Click start. Okay. And it'll go, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to rotate back to the home position. Okay, so once I get there, I'm going to be adding some data to another picture I had done. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go to the SD card, image management, and I'm going to find the picture I want to do again. So I'm wanting to do another part of my Veil Nebula, so I'll go ahead and open the picture for that. And that's what I'm going to be shooting, and I go ahead and I hit Go To. Hit Go To, and now the mount is going to try and find the part of the sky where that's at. Now it's to where it thinks it is. It's taking a picture. It's validating whether it's centered or not. It's uncentered, so it's going to retry. Okay, and it says my camera angle is different, so I can go to the adjust and see how far it's off. So it's 7 degrees. I need to turn it 7 degrees counterclockwise. So I can go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, and then I click refresh. And it's going to do another picture. It's going to solve it. So now it's saying I'm 13.4 degrees because I was an idiot and I turned it clockwise. So we're going to go back, go counterclockwise. Okay, and hit refresh. So I'm 4.2 degrees off. A little bit more. Okay, so now I'm only 0.5 degrees off. That's close enough for me. So I go ahead, I go back to that, go back to the preview screen. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to the filter I want to use. I want to use my L Extreme. Right now it's on my UV. So I select L Extreme on my filter wheel. Okay, I'm gonna do a 30-second exposure just to see what we're working with. And go ahead and hit that. And I'm hoping I had all that in frame. Because sometimes I'm special like that. Okay, let's see what we're working with. So that doesn't look too bad. Everything's in frame. I don't see any clouds. Pretty sure my guider's out of focus because I think it moved. So we're going to go ahead and check to see what my guider looks like. And actually, that's not too shabby. We could see stars. It's not too bad. We're going to go ahead and let it calibrate. So I got it set to 1 second exposures. Hit calibrate. And now it's going to pick stars and start calibrating. So what it does when it does this is it locks onto a star, and then it tells the telescope to move. Like this one, it's moving west 3 steps and seeing how far it moves. And then it's going to keep doing that, so it's going to figure out what the deviation of the mount is. And then after that, it'll lock on and will auto guide the star, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and let it do that. And I'm going to see about doing screen recording and a voiceover for the rest. So we'll do that real quick. Okay, so now I got my guiding figured out. I have to go ahead and make sure my telescope is focused. So my guiding numbers aren't too bad. So I'll go ahead and I'll shut down the auto guide menu. And so now I got to make sure my focus menu's up. And you do that by having the focuser button. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and I am going to actually move where my autofocuser position is. And I go that by going into the EAF menu. And I usually do it at 104,000, so I'll go ahead and move it to that. And that's my daughter messaging me. So once it's to 104,000, I'll go ahead and I will hit the autofocus button. That'll pull up this screen. Now, when you're using like a UV-IR cut filter or whatever, you can go ahead and set that to a lower amount. Since I'm using a dual narrowband filter, I have it set to 10 seconds. Go ahead and hit the play button. And now it's going to try and focus. And so how it does that is it'll find a star. It'll take a picture, find a star, and then it will lock on that star. And then once it locks on that star, it'll rack the focus up. So I set to 104. I think it'll go up to about 105. And then it'll slowly lower the amount and get the star to be as small as possible. And it does that by, it'll keep lowering it until the star gets small, and then as the star gets bigger, then it'll find the V curve, and then it'll go down to the V curve and find it where it's at the smallest point. And that's how it works. It's pretty cool. So it found a star, it's locked onto it, and that star is at a width of 3.88. And yeah, went to 105 1505-ish. As it goes down, the star will get smaller. Now it's at 3.29. .07. It's pretty cool how this works. And yeah, another guy just pulled up with his freaking high beams on. It's killing me here. 2.74. .57. Okay, and so now it's starting to go back up. And I'll let it go a little bit further. And then it'll find the V curve. Okay, so now it's saying it has found the V curve. So now it's going to rack itself back to the lowest point, or just past it. It should be right around 104, 315. Yeah, called it. And now it said it succeeded. The focus position is 103,900. So I was pretty close to my first guess of 104. So now I am going to back out of this. And I am going to go ahead and do a 5-minute exposure, which is 300 seconds, to see what I'm working with. So I'll go ahead and pause the recording for now and go ahead and do that. Okay, I went ahead and got back in my nice air-conditioned truck because it's Texas and it's still like 80 degrees out. And mosquitoes love me, but we're getting into almost the end of the 5-minute exposure. Now, normally, I would not recommend imaging at a time like right now because it's a full moon. And, you know, full moons are generally bad, but I'm using the L Extreme, which can handle quite a bit of light. So Let's see what we're working with. This is 5 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. That looks decent. Get some decent detail in there. I mean, it's a little washed out, but, you know, I've definitely seen worse. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'll go into plan mode since this is a plan that I've done, and I will make sure I select the correct plan. I'll go into my list here. I think it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. This one? Nope, not that one. There it is, it's that one. Okay, so I did this plan not too long ago, so we're going to go ahead, and I want to do the second panel, so that's what we're on now. But we go ahead and we can see what that plan is. Hold on. So it's actually a 2-panel mosaic, and of course it's not going to show it, but it's going to show what we're looking at. So yeah, so that would be what the first one is, and that's what the second one is. So you see there's a bit of overlap there. So yeah, and I want to focus on the second part of the plan, which is this one. So we're going to go into detail, and I want to do about 20 exposures on it. So I need to get more data. I have it set for global gain, and then my filter is L Extreme, which is LXT. So I have 2 filters in there, which is L Extreme and the UVIR. The other ones are empty, so I don't have them labeled. So I set that. I want a 5-minute exposure, so it's already set for 300 seconds. Go ahead and click OK. And we'll go ahead and we'll go back. And I want to make sure the settings are proper. So I want auto cooling. I want auto guiding. I want auto meridian flip. Start now. And then if the plan went past that, go to beyond astronomical morning light, which is at 5:38. But it won't take that long. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back. I got everything set. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And it's going to start. And it's going to make sure it's centered. And then it will go ahead and start the plan. It's that simple. The ASIR really makes it easy. And yeah, so it had actually gotten off a little bit, so it said it's uncentered, so it's going to center it again. Now it says it's centered, it's confirmed. And it's going to make sure it's nice and settled. It's going to wait for the guiding to start. And then it'll start taking pictures. So it's guiding. Now it's settling. It's making sure it sets for with less than 2 degrees or 2 arc minutes of deviation for 7 seconds, and then it'll start shooting, and it's shooting, and it will just keep doing this. At this point, I could go to sleep, and it'll keep doing its thing. It really is glorious how it does that. So that's it for now. I will go ahead and later on I will see about recording actually processing the final image. So till then, we're going to stop recording for now.